to get to Angel Island, we are sailing. That's right, sailing into the San Francisco Bay. And we get to go right underneath the Golden Gate Bridge.
I'm on this trip with my friend Brian, who owns this fabulous sailboat. He wanted to take me to Angel Island because it's one of his favorite places to go. We sailed from Half Moon Bay up to the San Francisco Bay, and it took us about 6 to 7 hours. And would you believe it, right underneath the bridge, the water is over 300 feet deep. For those of you who are unfamiliar, Alcatraz is the small prison island in the San Francisco Bay, and right next to it, that very large island, is Angel Island. Now, I actually grew up in this area of California, and I had no idea that Angel Island even existed. Whenever I saw that big hill or big island, I thought it was just an extension of the mainland. So Brian taught me something already. Before heading over to Angel Island, Brian took me on a little tour of the bay. So we cruised past the USS Jeremiah O'Brien, a World War II naval vessel, and we also swung by Pier 39. When I was younger, Pier 39 was the place to go for shopping and looking at all the sea lions. We anchored on the east side of the island where you don't have to pay and it's a little bit more private. We spent the night and then the next morning rowed ashore to go and explore. Our first stop is Fort McDowell, an army post during World War I and World War II. But first, some deer.
We'll call him Dale.
Hi, Dale.
As you can see, they're used to people.
Yeah. Hi, Dale.
So this, it was originally built for, what was it? Like several hundred soldiers, and they crammed a few thousand in there.
Ooh.
And then this area, the grassy area, used to have wooden barracks, but they've since fallen down. But this whole area right here there's a picture of it up here. They'll show you what it used to look like. Originally built in 1910. So this is the old hospital. The building in the front was the hospital. The building in the back, after the fort was decommissioned, they put a Nike Missile Center here, which was a Cold War era anti-Russian missile defense system. Oh, there's where the bowling alley was.
Bowling overlooking the sea.
You can't go in all of the buildings, but you can walk through the hospital.
Doors are still smooth. Warning, don't lick the walls. It's lead paint.
Oh, fabulous.
These buildings were the old officer quarters, which they have now renovated and turned into residences for the park employees.
Morning. Yeah. While 1,000 men were crammed into the 600-man barracks, the officers lived in large homes.
These map and information boards are posted throughout the island, and to go all the way around is about 5
We
miles.
are on this side.
Yep, we're right there.
And there's still a whole island.
And we're gonna follow this road
Okay.
all the way around.
Wow.
And then come back.
After hiking for a little bit, it's time for a break. And luckily,
Alcatraz.
it's a break with a view.
They have benches and picnic tables all throughout, so you can really stop and take in the view of the bay. And it was amazing.
Oh my gosh. Battery Drew. This way.
There are 2 other batteries on the island. This was the second one. It's actually a campground.
This was built over 160 years ago as a temporary camp. And a lot of the buildings are still here.
Wow. I love that house. It's so pretty.
So it's more accommodating.
And there's the view.
We couldn't go inside the officer quarters, but you can walk around it and even walk around the bake shop.
Here's inside the bakehouse. Oh, go get some bread.
On the weekends, they'll have this house open. So you can go inside the bakehouse
Oh,
and see
that's
the ovens
neat.
and stuff.
That's neato. This is Ayala Cove, where you would arrive if you came by ferry. It's the off season right now, so in the winter the ferries are only running on the weekends, but during the summer the ferries run every day.
Actually, that's a lie. During the winter, there is one company that runs on the weekdays.
It's also where you'll find several picnic tables and the visitor center.
And more deer. Deer was by far the most abundant animal we saw, but we did see one coyote. I didn't get to capture him on camera, unfortunately, but the park rangers said that the coyotes had only come over just within the past few years.
And she's off.
See what I mean? They're very used to people.
Yeah.
Our next stop was the immigration station. So on the East Coast, immigrants went through Ellis Island. On the West Coast, they went through Angel Island. And it operated between 1910 and 1940.
The newly restored hospital exhibit is free to enter, but the detention center is $5. Well, we don't have any dollars, so we're just gonna go to the hospital exhibit. When immigrants first arrived, they were divided into two groups, Asian and European, and so they had separate entrances to go into the hospital. This was the European entrance, and this one is the non-European entrance.
On the second floor, there are several exhibits set up, so we spent a lot of time in here. They would have items on display that were used during medical exams and different storyboards as well of immigrants or descendants of immigrants who came through Angel Island.
On the map, this is labeled as the disinfection room. Just looks like a big bathroom and shower room.
This place does have a very dark history. They would detain immigrants for several months at a time in very poor living conditions, mostly those of Asian descent.
And this memorial is dedicated to the contributions of Chinese immigrants.
To hike around the island, we took all day, but we did stop a lot and we had a picnic lunch. And then we spent the night again and sailed back to Half Moon Bay the next day. So that was my Angel Island video. Thank you so much for watching.